Limited service is, I'll get to it in a minute. So let me do the math here real quick. I've been doing this so many years, you think I have it memorized. No, actually, sorry. 25, 16, 20, 20. Should equal 100. Okay? Now, Dylan Marriott. You build a hotel in Washington, D.C., and it becomes very successful, and you grow that hotel, and you call it, what are the name of Marriott's full-service hotels? Marriott Hotels, right? So that's simple. Marriott Hotels, if you check into a Marriott Hotel, you know right away it's a full service, okay? And you do a really good job. In fact, you own your hotel. Marriott Hotels is the preferred hotel for business travelers out there. You're number one, okay? Now, this represents over here the percentage of people who stay in what type of hotels, right? So what I'm saying here at 25 is that 25% of the market can afford to stay in a full service, really can't afford to stay in a luxury, or doesn't go to a luxury, they prefer a full service, right? Does everyone see that? So you own 25% of the hotel, full service hotel market, okay? Or you lead in it, all right? Are you happy? Are you going to stop there? No, why?
Because there's more to be had.
There is more to be had. In fact, 75% of the people who stay in hotels is unavailable to you. Either they want to stay in a luxury or they can't afford to stay in a full service. So what are you going to do, Dylan Marriott?
Make a new hotel and slightly change the name.
Excellent. I like your way of thinking. Where are you going to go?
Either up or down.
Where do you want to go?
I'd say down.
Go down to where?
The limited service.
Okay, good. Why?
Because it's 25%.
25%. Excellent, right? So if you can do the same thing with limited service that you did with full service, you can have access to 50% of the market. That's a pretty good move, right? So what are you going to call this new hotel concept?
Courtyard.
Yes. Why aren't you going to call it Marriott Hotel?
Because then people could get confused as to what the nicer one is.
People will absolutely get confused. So what you have to do by giving it a different name, remember timeshare and vacation club? What you have to do is you have to differentiate your new brand. And so you are absolutely correct. Are you sure you're not a Marriott? Maybe you were switched at birth or something. Courtyard. Now, is that the full name?
Courtyard by Marriott, I think.
Don't think, you're correct. Look at the brilliance of the name. Do you see it? Who sees the brilliance? Why is it so brilliant?
People that stay at full service, if they see a limited service one, if they like Marriott's, they might stay there.
Yeah, but are they confused? Are they confused by it being a full service hotel? Absolutely not. It's a Courtyard by Marriott. You get the best of both worlds. Courtyard differentiates it from your full service, where by Marriott says, hey, we're still Marriott. And if you love Marriott hotels and you trust them, then let's say you normally stay in a full service, maybe you don't have the money to stay in full service, hey, let's stay at the Courtyard. Now, limited service is an interesting concept. Limited service, actually, if I blindfolded you and took you into the sleeping room of a Courtyard, again, I would be arrested, but besides that, and I took your blindfold off and said, are you at a full service or at a Courtyard? Could you tell the difference? Probably not. The philosophy of a limited service hotel is they give you the amenities of the sleeping room the exact same as the full service, but where do they reduce the cost?
Yeah, food and beverage, like free breakfast.
Food and beverage, yeah. Where else?
Staffing.
Staffing. Basically, let me just summarize, the public areas, right? It doesn't have like the restaurants, doesn't have room service, doesn't have the bar. They just care about sleeping rooms, and that's why they call it a limited service, because really the only service that most limited service provide is the sleeping room. If you want to get something to eat, got to go out and get in your car and go somewhere else, which is not a bad thing. We'll talk about that later. Okay. All right, so Dylan Marriott. Your Courtyard by Marriott is a rousing success. Now you are the preferred choice in that area. Are you happy? Why not?
There's still 50% of the market.
Still 50% of the market out there available to you. Where are you going to go?
Economy.
Economy. Excellent. What are you going to call it? Who said it? Excellent. How'd you know that? Did you used to work for Marriott?
No, there's one next to me, Abby.
What's the name of it?
Town Place Suites.
Town Suites. Is that the full name?
By Marriott.
By Marriott. You're catching on, right? By Marriott. Same thing? Do I have to explain again why you say by Marriott? Absolutely not. Now, Dylan, you're cranking right along there, right? You done? Where are you going?
Budget.
Budget. What are you going to call your budget brand?
Fairfield.
You guys are on fire. You started slow, but you rallied. Okay. What's the full name? Fairfield by Marriott. Excellent. See how this is played? Anybody stayed at Fairfield? Yeah, what'd you think?
I mean, yeah, it's still pretty nice. Like, it wasn't like anything special, but it was nice.
I agree. I stayed at the Fairfield in Gatlinburg. I mean, it was as nice as, certainly as nice as a Courtyard. And I almost thought, man, I'd rather stay here than a Marriott full service because they gave me free breakfast in the morning. Okay? Fairfield by Marriott. See how that works? All right. Got one more mountain to climb.
Does Marriott have luxury hotels?
Ooh, does Marriott have luxury hotels?
Would you consider like the resorts they have, like in like the Caribbean and stuff? Would those be like a luxury, or resorts like a different category?
It's a different category, and they're probably full service. Yes, ma'am.
Well, I just looked it up and they, like, Ritz-Carlton's and St. Regis.
Okay.
Like, that's under their brands on their website.
I stayed at one in Europe, Le Meridian.
Okay.
I don't know if that's a luxury as well.
We're jumping it. You're correct, but we're going back in time before they acquired those. Okay. And let me just cut to the chase. Marriott said, okay, we've got these four. We're gonna go luxury. What? And this is before Ritz-Carlton. What? No. That was before they bought it. Anybody ever hear of J.W. Marriott?
I was just gonna say that one.
This is, okay, forget about the Starwood acquisition. This is before that, okay? Anybody stayed in a J.W. Marriott? No? You've ever heard of a J.W. Marriott? Okay. Here's what happened. Here's an interesting thing. And this is kind of where Dylan meets his Waterloo. Okay? He's successful on the four, and then he does the fifth, and he builds J.W. Marriott's out there. And that's Marriott's luxury brand. But something strange happens. Something they did not account for. People would make reservations for a J.W. Marriott hotel, and they would check in and they would say, "This is the coolest Marriott hotel in the world. It is a kick-ass Marriott hotel." And then when you ask them, well, is it a luxury? They'd say, no, it's not a luxury, but it's a great Marriott hotel. People didn't perceive it as luxury, even though the price was right up there in luxury. Why?
Because their brand was already established.
Very astute. In other words, because it had the name Marriott on it, they did not associate the name Marriott with luxury. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
You're absolutely correct. People would check into a JW Marriott hotel, they'd pay the $300 a night and say, this is a kick-ass Marriott hotel. But they did not believe that they were staying at a luxury hotel. Is that a problem? Yes. Your strategy of, what is this called, by the way? Vertical integration. Because you're trying to cover all markets. Your strategy of vertical integration has hit a speed bump. Try as you might, people just can't get over the name JW. What are you going to do, Dylan?
Either get rid of the name Marriott or just stick to the other 80 or 90%.
Take
What?
Marriott out of it.
Huh?
Take buy Marriott out of it.
Well, it's not even by Marriott, it's just JW Marriott. There's another strategy available to you. If you don't go vertical, you go horizontal. What's horizontal? I can sum it up in this. If you can't beat them, buy them. If you can't beat them, buy them. Who did Marriott buy over 15 years ago?
Is that, no, they didn't buy Starwood?
No, they just bought Starwood. Who did they buy before Starwood?
Ritz-Carlton.
Ritz-Carlton, excellent. And what was the one thing that they did not do as soon as they acquired Ritz-Carlton?
Change the name.
They did not put by Marriott, or put the name Marriott anywhere near it. To the point, most of you probably don't know that Marriott owns Ritz-Carlton, am I correct? And that's the way they want it. Because they know the Marriott name works from here down, does not work up here. So they own Ritz-Carlton. So congratulations, Dylan Marriott. You are the most successful hotel company in the world. So much so that now that you've got the vertical integration down, you're in the horizontal integration. Right? What's their other full service?